fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Book of Wisdom, Chapter 8, the Pineal Gland. The pineal gland. The pineal gland is a cone-shaped body, 6 millimeters high and 4 millimeters in diameter. The mind inhabits the pineal gland. It's the organ through which the electrical forces of the body play. It's what the universal essence / soul / consciousness deposited. It is the light of the body that gives life to the whole temple. The pineal is the male spiritual organ. The pineal gland opens when the 2 eyes are closed for periods. The more spiritual work you do, the more active the pineal gland becomes. The pineal gland is covered in microcrystals. Crystals have the ability to receive and emit frequencies. The pineal gland has piezoluminescent cells, which are crystalline, jagged shaped. The retina of the 2 eyes also has these cells. The pineal has them because it takes in light and reflects / refracts and emits light. The pineal gland emits light. This is why we say enlightenment. As you can see on the right, it shows a picture of the pineal gland. Well, it shows a picture of the whole brain. And you could see where the pineal gland is in green, which is slightly below the 3rd eye. Then you got a diagram here. It shows melatonin. I can't say that word. Suprachiasmatic nucleus. Retinohypothalamic. Hypothalamic tract. The Vatican suppresses the information on the pineal gland's mystical powers. The Vatican, the Catholic Church, took over Europe and destroyed / stole all the knowledge and libraries containing all the ancient texts and information of our true powers. They then created an encoded Holy Bible to keep people looking outside of themselves for God. The pineal gland is the seat of consciousness, also known as the seat of the soul / throne of God. The pineal gland is an empty chamber that holds the universal essence, which is invisible to the naked eye. Our true self is within the pineal gland, and from this center we control the physical body. As you can see here in these pictures, if you take apart the eye of Ra or the eye of Horus, you get the smell, sight, thought, hearing, taste, and touch as they break that down. You got Buddha here with the pineal. Look at that. His hair looks like a a pine cone. I just noticed that. Oh, and he also has the long ears. You know, like people wear gauges in their ears, but this guy don't have gauges. And you can see the sleeping human compared to the awakened avatar, a closed pineal gland to the open pineal gland. Then you see the Sumerian god holding a pine cone symbolizing the pineal gland. Now also, if you look to the left, the same Sumerian god with the bird head over here, he has a beard and a regular head. Now, I don't know if one's Mesopotamian and one's Sumerian, but And there's some Vatican symbolizing on his stick, or his, I forgot what you call that stick. Anyway, chapter 9, the pineal gland. Everything in the body leads back to one source point. Chapter 9, the pineal gland. Everything in the body leads back to one source point, which is the center of the brain. The center of the brain is the pineal gland, which we refer to as I. When we say I, we are referring to the inner being, observer, the entity that is controlling the body. If we say my body, then if it is mine, it is not me. This body is the vehicle for our soul/entity to operate within this physical world of time and space. As you can see here, they have the candlestick, which the candlestick itself is like the spine, and then the flame would be the pineal gland. I almost said the third eye. You can see brain scans here. It says right here the 33 vertebrae is showing. Then it says where these scans are. The throne of God is in the center of the brain. Consciousness is God, and we are all that same spark of consciousness in the center of the brain. Mark 16:19. He was taken up into heaven, and he sat at the right hand of God. The right hand of God is the right hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere is to do with creativity, intuition, and insight, which is connected to the cerebrum, the higher brain. Chronicles 3, I think, what would that be? 3:10 would be chapter 3, verse 10. So it would be Chronicles chapter 3, verse 10. In the most holy place he made 2 cherubim by carving, and they overlaid them with gold. So let's start at the left here. We got A, B, C, D, E, F. The most holy place, the pineal gland / center of the brain. The 2 cherubim equal the 2 hemispheres of the brain. The sword is the lamb, symbolizes killing the lower nature of your consciousness and moving up the spine to the higher mind / higher self. Notice the lamb is looking up at the cup with the sun on the top. The cup is your head and neck, and the sun is your consciousness in the center of the brain on the top of your neck. The bird is an air animal that symbolizes the higher nature of man. The ground animal symbolizes the lower nature of man. The tree stump symbolizes your spine. Chapter 10, the Holy Grail. Holy Grail, Chapter 10, the Holy Grail. Holy Grail is the neck and skull. The reason why the Holy Grail is a cup is because the sun and moon create the holy fluid, the Christ oil, and filled it up every month. You can see some pictures here. Now, I've seen this, where's the Masonic art symbol in the center? I have that in my files, and me and Lucid, individual comes to my channel. Me and him sat there, and I think this is one of them we deciphered using the English and I think it was Latin. We used the Latin or vice versa to decipher this, but anyway. The Masonic art symbolizes the sun and moon creating the milk and honey in the brain. The milk is the fluid created by the moon. The honey is the fluid created by the sun. The magnetic is the moon, and the electric is the sun. So that's the female, the male. The pituitary gland. Oh, it's the pituit. It's the pituitary. Oh, I get what that woman was saying now. It's the pituitary. Pituitary, milk, moon, female, magnetic. Does that say Ida? And then the Pingala is the pineal, the honey, the sun, the male electric. Okay. But now I get what that woman was saying. It's the pituitary gland. Thank you for correcting me. I forgot her name. You have your different triangles here. You got the one on a dollar bill. You got the one that you see in Mexico, the pyramid. You got when you're meditating. Anyway, Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. Glorify God in your body is raising the chrism / Christ oil up the spine and looking after the body. The elites in power have externalized all of the sacred things like the Holy Grail, Temple of Solomon, etc. This is done to keep you from finding out the fact that you are the ultimate of all things. Man is truly created in the image of God. The church and other religions are teaching the masses the exoteric meaning, external teachings. This is done purposely to keep the pyramid scheme up and running. Meanwhile, the people in power get taught the esoteric meaning, the internal, teaching about the body, consciousness, and the metaphysical aspects of reality. The Bible is written in such a way it will resonate with your level of understanding. You can perceive the Bible physically, historically, and metaphorically, depending on how wide you have expanded your mind. Your reality is your level of realization.